Hey everybody, this is Genesis. I'm doing this kind of video for the first time, so excuse me if it's a little wonky. I'm still learning how to use OBS, and I really wanted to get this out as soon as possible because this morning we had released a Hazbin Season 2 trailer. And I've actually already seen this trailer, but I figured since I'm a PNG tuber, I didn't really want to do a reaction necessarily anyways, because obviously you can't see my face. What we're gonna be doing is probably just a trailer breakdown. I'm gonna run through the trailer once, and then once we're done, I'll kind of go through like shot by shot and really analyze what we're getting ourselves into here. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
War is coming.
Okay. That was the Heaven Embassy, if you don't remember.
You're either with me or against me.
Oh.
Hell will rise!
So be ready for some
Breaking news.
So yeah, very short trailer. It's only like 30 seconds, 38 seconds-ish. So under a minute. I think this is probably the equivalent to the casting announcement that we got back when Season 1 was released. And that we'll probably be getting a full trailer, fairly soon. But, oh my god, there is so much jam-packed into those 38 seconds. I just have to run through all of it and like break it all down. Right away we're seeing the new hotel. I love how the new hotel looks. Oh my god. I'm loving this shot of Charlie and Vaggie. I'm noticing, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm noticing that Charlie looks up towards heaven here, and Vaggie keeps her eyes down. And obviously, after Season 1, we know that Vaggie is was an exorcist angel, and, I think that this might signify probably a low point in Season 2, where Charlie is not getting anywhere with heaven, and Vaggie has possibly given up, and Charlie is still looking towards heaven longingly, still wanting redemption for her people. I also just have to say, the animation for Season 2 is already like a step up, so spectacular compared to Season 1. Oh my god, not a single shot from this trailer looks ugly. It's amazing. Oh my god. The animators have truly outdone themselves. I especially, just like, Charlie's facial expressions here and Vaggie's are like so peak. Amazing stuff. So to all the animators of Hazbin Hotel, you are doing amazing. Keep up the great work. We cannot wait to see Season 2. We cannot wait to see all future seasons. We're so excited. Again, this is the Heaven Embassy, shot by some kind of, that looks like holy light. So my assumption is that this might be heaven cutting ties with hell. At least that's what I kind of think this signifies, right? Because that is obviously the Heaven Embassy. That is the connection between heaven and hell. And I think that the destruction of that building, especially by a ray of what looks to be the same thing that Adam had in Season 1, I think that it is very likely that that is an angel's doing. Possibly Lute, maybe someone higher up than her, but given where season 1 left off with us, I get the feeling that it's probably loot. But we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna continue on. So now we're seeing a V's meeting here, and whatever Vox, he really needed to get Velvet and Valentino's attention there, and you can really tell. And now we're seeing Lucifer in all of his glory. It's a very similar look to a lot of shots in Hell of a Boss, where they kind of like have their characters shrouded in shadows. It's so cool looking. I don't know what the context for this could be, but he looks pissed off. So I guess we'll have to see. This shot of Charlie, honestly, that transition seemed so smooth. I think that is a continuation of the same scene. Like, these backgrounds match up really, really well. So I think that to me says that those two scenes are they are connected to each other somehow. She looks absolutely terrified here. We didn't really get a ton of the world building in season 1. I hope we get more in season 2, so it's kind of hard to say exactly where some of these locations are. This one makes me nervous. So this very clearly is Vox either I would assume either hypnotizing Angel or forcing him to watch something traumatic happen. And Angel, the facial expressions in season 2, like there were some really good facial expressions in season 1. Season 2 has upped their game. This is a beautiful shot. Oh my god, everything about this is so good and so terrifying at the same time. I'm so scared for Angel, but I'm also so excited to see what we're getting from this. This one I've had a little bit of trouble with. I assumed that this was Angel's eye because of its shape, but I am now realizing that the monocle here in the corner makes it seem... I think it's probably actually Alistair. And now that I look at it, like the eyeshadow above his eye kind of resembles Alistair's look as well. So this is probably Alistair here, with Vox in like the reflection of his eye. This is a big one. We know from a post that Bibsy Pop made, I think maybe a month or two ago, that there are some pretty extreme parallels between some of the current events that were happening 2 months ago and the things that happen in season 2 of Hazbin Hotel, and that there are some pretty bad people in Hazbin Hotel that are going to obviously make bad choices and do bad things because they're bad people. And I assume that she was talking about Vox. From what we've seen from the promo image of him calling Charlie a dictator, to the way that this is framed, I love this shot. It's very, very well done. I'm not going to take credit for this, but I will point it out. Maddie's Minis, someone I follow on TikTok and makes Hazbin Hotel content as well, and they broke down this shot and talked about how the sign behind Vox that says resist, it slants downward in the center, and so when he is in front of it, it looks like wings. which I'm not 100% sure if Vox's backstory has been confirmed, but a very big theory surrounding Vox is that while he was alive, he was a televangelist and a cult leader. And I think that that makes a lot of sense for his character, and given what we are seeing from season 2, I would not be surprised at all if that is the route that that the writing team is going. Maddie also mentioned that obviously they appear to be wings, but what he's actually being lifted up by as he rises are these cords underneath him. And then he's shown with these bright spotlights here, which I did not see her talk about. I love the spotlights here because they do look like almost holy light, but they almost fall short of that, if that makes sense. They are false holy light, because we've seen the color that represents heaven the most is gold in Hazbin Hotel. We see lots of gold, lots of yellow, lots of white for heaven. For hell, we see lots of red. Obviously, red and black are the big colors for hell. For Vox, he stands out because he is blue. And I think that this color theory kind of supports my theory that Vox was a televangelist cult leader, if he is trying to create a false heaven, if that makes sense. He's being shown here with this like very bright blue light shining on him, making him resemble an angel, and it feels both holy and superficial at the same time. Beautiful shot, though. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. Also, New World Order, I mostly attribute it to like kind of dystopian stories wherein the government takes over, or there is perhaps a overthrowing of a government and a order brought forth by the new people in charge that is, well, fascism. And I think that the fact that Hazbin Hotel and like this team are using this phrase, I think it says a lot about what we're going to be seeing from season 2. If I had to guess, my assumption is that heaven will be at first fairly calm about the whole redemption thing, right? Because obviously Serpentius does not mean them any harm. I think that he'll make that very clear in the beginning of season 2. And there's still probably going to be a lot of animosity, especially with Lute, because she is going to be pissed no matter what. She is going to hate hell for taking Adam away. The rest of heaven, there might be some hesitation to trust the people of hell, or to really extend that olive branch, but I don't necessarily think that all of heaven is going to be like, let's continue with the exterminations, you know, especially given the way that Emily reacted to the news of the exterminations back in season 1. My assumption is that most angels don't know about the exterminations, and I think that that will be an incredibly divisive issue. What I think is probably going to happen is that animosity between Hell and Lute and possibly the other exorcists, that's going to grow. I think probably what is going to happen is that Lute in some way is going to attack Hell. And in attacking Hell, Hell is going to be divided on the issue, right? And obviously, I think that Charlie and the hotel residents will be very much so like, it's probably a misunderstanding. Let's figure this out. And I think that Vox and whoever he, like, takes control over or manipulates, they are going to be very, no, let's rise against heaven, which we obviously saw with the word resist behind him. He and the people in his corner truly believe that what they are doing is resistance. In the world of this show, the denizens of hell have been under the boot of heaven for a very long time. The exterminations happening every year, that's genocide. That's bad, obviously. But it seems to me that they are obviously going about this wrong, you know? And there's all of these complications brought up because, of course, like, yes, loot makes things complicated. The exorcists make things complicated. Anyone who has been taught to hate the sinners are going to make this issue divisive, are going to make this issue complicated. I think genuinely that if the entire angelic army had, I was going to say that if the entire angel army had been wiped out, that this wouldn't be an issue. But I think that that's not the case either. But there has to be winners in heaven who are close with exorcists, and if there are exorcists that die, there's going to be that animosity, and there's still going to be all of these issues, right? Yeah, there's no way I think that this battle in season 1 could have gone that really would have changed anything. Okay, so the lighting of this scene says heaven, right? It's got the white and the gold, and this is obviously loot crashing through this window here. I think this is showing us where her mindset is. And again, like, crashing through windows, this whole room looks just completely destroyed. I wonder if this has been, like, her rage room or something for a while. It seems very much as if this whole space has been what she has been using to kind of cope with what's happened with Adam. And as we continue here, we see her again. This is in her exorcist uniform. She is very similarly to the way that they're depicted in the pilot. I truly, truly believe that that this is her almost form of rebellion herself. Okay, this one, like, for the first time, the background seems way more clear to me. Okay, all of these hearts and this building itself, this is Valentino's studio. I don't think there's anywhere else that this could be. Maybe there's some other, like, club that this could be at, but I'm thinking most likely this is Valentino's studio. Obviously, we have Alistair here in front of it with all his, like, tentacles out. I think most likely, based on where this is probably a battle with Vox. I'm fairly certain this is something to do with Alistair and Vox, like, just battling it out or something. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a major Husker duster. I have some things I need to point out here. First of all, Husk is in a dress. Some people have said, no, it's a burlap sack. No, it has ruffles. That's a prairie dress. Angel is dressed as a cowboy, and Husk is tied to a railroad track in a prairie dress. I have no idea what the context behind this could be. I've seen people say that it's probably a nightmare sequence for Angel. I've seen people say that it might be a hallucination. I've seen people say that that Husk is kidnapped by the V's and they're trying to kill him to, like, make Angel a tool for them, which honestly isn't necessarily a bad theory. I have theorized for a while, actually, that there are going to be 3 characters in the hotel at different points who are, who represent each of the V's and are going to, kind of create problems for the rest of the cast. And, my theory for those characters is obviously Angel is Valentino's plant, right? I think that, and especially given earlier when we saw what looked to be Angel being, hypnotized, I think that it's very likely that he will be either hypnotized or manipulated into, in some way, harming the hotel. And that is going to be absolutely devastating if that happens. One of the other characters I'm pretty sure is a plant, I think, is Baxter. I think that Baxter is Vox's plant. I think that he probably works for Vox and is joining in the hotel to act as a spy or as, again, like some kind of plant to harm the hotel. And the third one, this is pure speculation because we're not even 100% sure if she's going to show up, but if you remember from the pilot days, there's a character, her name is Criminy, and we do not know very much about her. I don't think we've even had confirmed yet if she's going to be in the show or not. I think that most likely, since we have obviously Angel was a major character in season 1 of the show, I think that it's very likely that Baxter will be the plant for season 2, and that if there is another plant, that we will have Criminy possibly in season 3, maybe later on down the line, possibly even in season 2. I don't know. We haven't seen anything from her yet, so it's really hard to say. I think that it is very, very likely, though, that Criminy is Velvet's plant. I think that her, the attitude that she shows in her character designs and a lot of those old drawings that Viv has done, it's giving one of Velvet's, you know? Yeah, when it comes to these, like, V's plants, I think that we also kind of had that almost, like, foreshadowed in season 1 with Serpentius. This one is an interesting one, and this is a totally different theory, separate from the whole, like, V's plants theory. I think I've thought about this for a while too. There is something a little bit different about Velvet from the other V's, and something tells me that she's not going to stay evil. I've never been 100% sure about her. And either way, I think that of the V's, she's probably my favorite. I just love her so much. This facial expression seems more, like, determined, almost kind of, like, girl power-y, rather than necessarily evil. And again, I might be wrong. Don't quote me. I don't know the context behind this. I know so little about this in the grand scheme of things. Alright, this is another big one. Obviously, we've known for a bit that Cherry is going to have her own song. And I'm certain that that is where this comes from. This is a singing pose. Whatever this is very, very big and emotional. I think that Cherry's song could go 2 separate ways. Either we get some major character about, like, her background, about who she is as a person that we just have not had yet, or lamenting about Serpentius. The most that we really got of her character in season 1 was kind of that she was reluctant to join the hotel because she is not sure about redemption. So maybe that's what her arc is about in season 2, is kind of her getting to the point where she is on board with redemption, possibly even being redeemed herself. I think that could be a really great place for her character to go. Especially because I don't know how long Serpentius can last without either Cherry Bomb or his little egg boys in heaven. I don't know how long it's going to, that's going to last for him. Okay, this one, I've seen several people be all like, what? Pentius is back in hell? I don't think that's what this is. I think that most likely this is a flashback. Now, it is possible that Serpentius does end up back in hell. Partially because there is the possibility that due to the animosity between heaven and hell, that Serpentius is cast out of heaven. I think that it's more likely that this is just a flashback, but there might be something else going on here. We've got Nifty here with what looks to be, that's just a knife. She, like, springs up and then comes back down, and we don't see what she coming down on, but very clearly, like, that's some kind of battle. And then finally we get this shot of Vox, very menacing, very bad boy. I am very excited to see where they take him. And finally, we got the logo. The logo change that we saw like a month ago, something like that, maybe 2. Oh my god. So this background seems to be the Katie Killjoy show that that we saw in season 1 and in the pilot. The lighting of this room, almost green screen background, these red chairs. Nifty is here with Charlie standing on a table of some sorts that Charlie is sitting at. My assumption is that this is more of Katie Killjoy's show. Also, Charlie's face here, same girl. I love this so much. But yeah, that is the season 2 teaser trailer for Hazbin Hotel. I'm so excited to see where this goes. This is so cool. Everyone have a great day. Holy crap, I've been recording for 48 minutes for this 30-second trailer.